Welcome everyone to yet another PÖFF Meet the Filmmakers. My name is Triin Tramberg. I am the curator for the first feature competition, and with me I have the director of The Other Widow, Ma'ayan Rypp. Welcome.
Thank you.
So before we start to talk, I'm not actually going to that much talk about the film, but I want to talk a little bit more about you and how did you come to film business, and tell a little bit about that journey of why film.
Wow. It actually
Didn't expect that.
It actually started in my 20s. I went to New York to study art directing. I wanted to study fashion design, and I studied art directing, and I kind of like looked at the side on this profession, and I decided I kind of fell in love with it. And I went to Israel to study film to be an art director, but then I started through my studies to direct, and then I fell in love with that. So I that's the problem. I kind of fall in love with everything on the side, and I started doing that.
So you're how would you define yourself now that you do have a first feature film?
Yeah.
But you've been a very long time production designer.
Yeah, exactly. So I would love to direct films and TV and to be a director. But I always want to direct things that are very meaningful to me, and so to make a living and to I do my other love as well, which is art directing. So I also do that.
And when we talk about films, then what type of films does inspire you? What type of themes and directors? Where do you get inspiration?
Good films. It will be. I think my biggest inspiration was the first time I saw Jim Jarmusch's film, Stranger Than Paradise. Sorry, I blanked. And I suddenly saw how these characters can just move in their space, and there is a story, but it's not the issue. The issue is just the characters and their being there and communicating with each other in a new way or in a funny way sometimes. And I think these films really, excite me, like Roy Andersson, Jim Jarmusch, Céline Sciamma, I can go on, of course.
But then when we talk about this story, can you tell a little bit how the process came to you and the story itself? It's actually an amazing. I loved it from the beginning.
It started when I had this love affair with a guy, and he actually was with another woman, and when it ended, I just walked around feeling that I was heartbroken and that I couldn't tell about it to anyone, and that need to hold the secret really was very strong to me, and I felt that is something I want to deal with. So for the sake of the film, I made them married and I killed him, because then it became really interesting. I mean, what does she do after her love dies and she can't mourn his death? So in the film, when I started writing the script, it was this love story between her and him, but it wasn't so interesting. And only once he died, it became really interesting to me. So at a certain point, I even took him out of the film. You don't even see him. The story starts only after his death.
Which that's what I think. What I like about it is that I think we've had a lot of films about just affairs in general, but the fact of that you cannot grieve someone that you love, but at the same time the relationship itself is as meaningful as the marriage or could be. So in that case, it was great. But how did you? You also went to Cannes Film Festival residency to write it. How was that experience?
Well, it's amazing. You're an aristocratic artist crying all day about not being able to write a scene. It's what else can you ask for as a director? I was in Cannes with my short film, Martha Must Fly, and then it was like very natural that I think I continued with them, and I lived in Paris for a few months, and that's where I kind of developed. Not only the idea was more developed, but the world, the loneliness maybe also was Paris could have given that, and I was surrounded by art all day. You know, you go down to get coffee, and there's this beautiful statue that makes you think. So, I think maybe that Paris was a good inspiration.
Nice. But then now, what are your thoughts before the premiere, and what are your feelings after this long journey?
Oh, I'm terrified. I think when you make a film, for me, I didn't think so much about the audience. It was just like following this gut feeling, a bit like my protagonist. You kind of like follow this feeling, and it leads to this creation, and then at a certain point, you know, you puke it out, and now I think when people will see it, I'm very intrigued and scared and excited about what they will think about it, and I hope they will like it. I think now it's very communicative also, and so yeah, I'm scared. I hope all people with secrets will be able to identify with my character.
I think so. I think so, because it is truly I think a great story. A great film starts with a great story, and here the story is so strong and at the same time incredibly universal. So you managed to really bring that out, and I think it's going to touch not only women but also men and everybody with it. So yes. But next plans, what are you doing? Art with art or with directing?
I'm developing my new film. It's called The Weightlifter. I won't tell too much about the story, but I'm developing it now, and I plan to continue art directing on the side. I think it's important to do more things as you create, and also to grow as an art director. But obviously, my first priority is making my next film. I think that's also why you make films, so you can make another film.
I have to ask also, with The Other Widow, I didn't check the credits. Who was the art director, and how was that?
We had an amazing art director, Ido Dolev. We actually worked together a lot. He was the head art director, and I did props, or I worked in the set department with him. Maybe 10 years when I started working in the art field in Israel, and it was an amazing pleasure working with him, because we were just like, it started when we opened our Google Drives and started showing all our inspirations, and we were like exactly on the same page. And the film is very visual. I mean,
absolutely.
There's like a language of colors and of inspirations from pictures and photographies, and you know, her inner world and grief is propelled through the art. So yeah, it's a big part.
I think it's one of the coolest scenes is within the trailer also, like such a powerful, with the dress and the crying, and I think that's super cool.
Yeah, I'm still shocked it happened. You know, I think there's something about films that it's a bunch of miracles. You know,
absolutely.
Until you everyone is there, you put the camera, you press record, you don't know if it will happen, if the magic will happen, but it happened, and so.
Well, I wish good luck with the film. I think I hope it's going to travel to many places, and I cannot really wait to see your next project.
Thank you very much.
But the last question,
yes,
I do ask, is will you go swimming?
Ooh. It will have to. I will have to want to.
Or maybe just up in the Nordic, you'll just go to the pool.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Okay,
I'll be dressed well.
Well, anyway, thank you for this chat, and for everyone else, please go and watch The Other Widow.
Thank you.